Hello and welcome back to the Xbox Hut. As an owner of Halo the Master Chief Collection, I get access to the Halo 5 multiplayer beta. Something to note is that the maps and modes change throughout the length of the beta, but I came to see how the game feels more so than what it has to offer. Since this is a multiplayer beta, there's really not a lot to get into. It's either get in or get out. At the time I was meandering through the beta, I was only playing Slayer, which is 4 vs 4 team deathmatch. One of the things that struck me immediately starting off was the awesome audio quality. It takes things up a notch with sounds that make having a home theater system a real treat, and there's no denying that audio is going to be one of the things I'll be enjoying in Halo 5. However, what was of concern was my chances of getting a match going. I know it's a beta, so I expected issues, and I got them. I either got stuck waiting for more players for exorbitant amounts of time, or it resulted in me erroring out. And sometimes both. It wasn't on occasion either, and happened several times to me, almost on a ratio of 1 out of every 3 attempts. It's a well-known point that the beta is running in 720p at 60 frames per second. This is immediately apparent during the intros to maps and also when looking at anything in the distance. Fortunately, this is just a beta of a game that is nearly a year away from release, so I'm not particularly concerned on this front at this point in time. There's a good chance the game will make it to at least 900p upon release, which would look perfectly fine given what else I've been noticing. What I've been noticing is a lot of advanced graphical techniques, namely in the lighting engine and depth of field use. With optimization probably not happening on this game for another 6 months, I wouldn't be surprised if the final product will look even better. Not to mention the frame rate is fairly solid, which is paramount for a game requiring any level of precision reflexes. This is really what I came for, curious about how the game would feel coming to a market oversaturated by first-person shooter games. What I got was a bit of an initial struggle to find a comfortable control scheme, but eventually found one that worked for me. Most of my time was spent getting used to the controls, but once I did, what I found was an old-school experience. While the addition of sprinting and boosting adds layers to combat, the combat itself is actually fairly different from the rest of what the market is doing. Not only is everyone a walking tank of a bullet sponge, but teamwork is a huge must in order to win or succeed. With just 4 people on each side, each person needs to pull their weight. The time it takes to kill a single player is long enough to get yourself killed by 2 of them firing back at you. Stick together, plaster the ground with nades, and pump as much bullets into your opponent as you humanly can. It's all tastefully unmodern, and in that respect it separates itself from the rest of the crowded genre. I can also see this being a turnoff to first-person shooter addicts who have been playing basically everything else. But I found this to be refreshing and actually look forward to Halo 5, which I already did coming off of Halo 4 in the Master Chief Collection. It's a tough sell when one of the hardest things to do to get into Halo 5's multiplayer is readjust yourself from all of the other first-person shooters. However, this will either be a blessing or a curse. While Halo enjoys a strong, dedicated fanbase of fairly large size, how many of them still want that old-school feel in 2015 is another question entirely. With so many first-person shooters sharing control schemes and shooting feel, Halo 5 will be a separate affair for many. This will either make it an instant classic or relegate it to being mostly purchased by the dedicated fanbase. I know that I'm excited for Halo 5, and it will be a day-one purchase for me. However, I cannot shake the feeling that not enough gamers may appreciate what Halo 5 will offer, especially since it's sticking to its old-school feel, albeit with small modernizations. Still, it's not Call of Duty, Destiny, or Titanfall. It's distinctly Halo, and despite my concern, this may end up being a good thing.
Frenzy.
That's it for today. Like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and of course, subscribe for more. I'll see you next time on the Xbox Hut.